Guys, welcome. A little bit different today. We are doing our truth bump on one breath, and I'm going to be sharing with you our guided meditation. So just ensure that you are seated in a comfortable position. And when you're ready, I just want you to close your eyes. And just allow yourself to follow my voice. Just take a deep breath in to get us started. And a deep breath out. The more comfortable you are in your position, the less likely that you'll need to move. You'd like to sit as still as possible throughout this guided meditation. Just take another deep breath in, and as you're breathing in, just feel your shoulders relax. Breathe deep into your stomach. And as you breathe out, just feel your chest, your abdominal muscles all relax. Allow yourself just to be here. Feel your jaw relax. Take another deep breath in. And a deep breath out. I just want you to follow my voice and let yourself be led through this guided meditation. Just imagine yourself sitting at the beach. Just the little waves are rolling in. Feel them rolling in, and they just splash on your feet. They wrap around your ankles, and they go back out to the ocean. As you're standing there, just look out to the ocean and just feel the enormity of the ocean. It goes as far as your eyes could see. The vastness, the power of that ocean. And just feel every time those little waves roll up on the sand, onto the shoreline, and they just wrap around your ankles. Feel the temperature of the water, and let that water, just watch it withdraw back into itself, the ocean. Just continue to breathe as you normally would. Just notice your breath. Just allow yourself to be seated there in that ocean or on the shoreline. And as you're taking a deep breath in, I want you to begin to notice what I like to call the transition points. So as you breathe in, there's a pause before you breathe out. That's the transition point. As you exhale, there's a pause before you take the next breath back in. That's the transition point. So I just want you to allow yourself to notice the transition point. Maybe you slow your breathing down just to notice that space. Just the moment where the breath finishes its inhale before it exhales. There's just a stillness, a space, a transition point. All I want you to do is notice it. Become aware of that space. as the breath comes back out as you exhale. Before you inhale, there's just a moment, a fleeting moment. That's the transition point. Just that moment before you take the inhale back in. So I just want you to imagine you're sitting on the shoreline. The little waves are coming up. They splash your toes and surround your body. As that continues, I just want you to take your breath in and notice the transition point. Take the breath back out and notice the transition point, and so on. So just let you do that in your own time. The waves will just come and go as they do. Keep your attention on the breath going in and just notice that transition point before the breath comes back out. So just notice that you can practice that at any time in any of your breathing. Just notice throughout the day when you're taking a breath, maybe you're taking 3 breaths. As you take the breath in, notice the transition point. As you exhale, just before you inhale again, notice that transition point. And every time you notice it, just feel the space there. Might feel familiar for you. Almost like the enormity that you see when you look out into the ocean. Now for us to continue in this guided meditation, I'm going to take you sitting on a floating deck just out into the ocean at the back of the waves. So just imagine yourself sitting on this floating deck on the ocean. You're facing back towards the coast. You're facing back towards the shoreline. And you're not very far, you're quite close to the shoreline, but you are behind where the waves, these little waves are breaking. Just take a moment to familiarize yourself with this picture. Just feel yourself sitting on this deck. It's just floating on the water, just behind where the waves are breaking, and you're facing the shoreline. And I want you to listen to the sounds of these waves as they break into the shoreline, and I want you to breathe with it. So as the waves break onto the shoreline and they go up the sand, you breathe out. As the waves redraw from the sand back to the ocean, you take a deep breath in. And just continue to do that in your own time. And remember to notice the transition points. But this time, every breath that's coming in is the same as the waves when you hear the waves withdrawing back to itself, back to the ocean. When you hear that, you breathe in. When you hear the waves rolling up onto the shoreline, up to the sand, you breathe out. So I just want you to just time your breath with the sounds of the ocean. The sound of the waves breaking onto the shoreline, the sound of the waves coming and withdrawing itself back to the ocean. And just notice that transition point anytime you can between the exhale and the inhale, between the waves going out to the shore and back to itself as the ocean. Just give you a moment to notice that. Now I just want you to continue to do this. Exactly what you've been doing, but bring your awareness and bring your attention and notice that every time you're breathing in, the energy is returning back to the ocean within you, not outside of you. Every breath you take, as it's the same as the ocean. The water withdraws, the waves withdraw from the sand, from the external if you like, and it withdraws back to itself as the ocean. Same as your breath. You breathe in, the drop or the energy is returning back to yourself as the ocean, as the infinite. You breathe out, it forms into the physical, it forms into the external. The ocean or the breath going out is you coming back outside of the ocean. It's coming back outside into your external. So I just want you to notice that every breath in, notice that the energy is returning to the infinite. The infinite is within you. It's not outside of you. The ocean has never been outside of you. The infinite has never been outside of you. It's always been within you. What you've been seeing outside is a reflection. So I just want you to notice that and now begin to bring your attention to that. This is not just your breath going in, it's going home. It's coming back to itself, just like the waves from the shoreline withdraw back to itself. It becomes one, and then as you breathe back out, the waves come back to the shoreline. As you breathe back out, you come back to your physical. You come back to form. You are then forming. So I just want you to notice that. I want to give you some time to actually continue doing this. Listen to the sounds of the ocean. Focus on the breath. Line yourself up with the sound of the ocean. But notice that every time the breath is coming back to you as the infinite. The infinite is within you. It's not outside of you. And every time you exhale, you're coming back to duality, back to the physical. So I'll just give you some time to practice that. Okay, with this new found realization, I want you to notice that you can find this space at any time with one breath. It's one breath away. Throughout the day, I want you to now bring your attention to your breath, but also bring it with your realization that the breath is returning to the ocean or to the infinite within you. As you breathe out, you come back outside of you. You come back to your physical, back to duality. As you breathe in, you're returning back to yourself. So bring this as a practice throughout your day. And when you're ready, I just want you to feel your toes, give them a little wiggle. Feel your fingertips. Just notice yourself sitting where you are. And I'll leave this for you guys to revisit this meditation as many times as you like. Come back to it whenever you feel you need to. But most importantly, practice. Throughout the day, you will feel maybe sometimes you need to take a breath. Maybe it's time to be present. Maybe you notice you weren't being present, and just take that deep breath. But we take that breath with awareness. The awareness is the energy is returning back to the infinite within me. And there will come a time where you will notice you are taking that same breath with that same awareness, and you didn't even make the decision. You didn't make the decision to do or to take that breath. Okay? Until then, keep practicing. And remember, anytime you're doing breath work, start to notice the transition points. Start to notice the emptiness between the inhale and the exhale. And just notice it. Just bring your attention to the space. There is a space between an inhale and an exhale. It might be very short, but there is a space there. There is a moment between the inhale and the exhale. So just begin to notice that, And I'll leave that practice for you guys. That is your one breath guided meditation. Most importantly, make sure you practice throughout your day, throughout your everyday. Anytime you remember, just take that breath. And then just continue on. I'll see you guys at the next Truth Bomb.